friends, welcome to the video. Today is a big one because I am celebrating my 30th birthday by baking an Earl Grey birthday cake and sharing lessons I've learned in my 20s. Yep, 30. Crazy. 30. Yup, 30. I would say some of the lessons I'm going to share are a little deep. Some of them are a little messy, but they're all part of the journey, you know? So we gotta cover them. And trust me, some of these lessons were a lot harder to learn than making a cake. But they're all worth it. So grab a drink, come hang out with me for a little bit, and let's get this thing baked. And let the real talk begin. One of the many lessons I've learned in my 20s is to trust your gut and believe the red flags the first time. Seriously, that feeling in your stomach is not random. It's your body picking up on things your brain hasn't figured out yet. I stayed in a relationship too long because everything looked good on paper. They were responsible, they said all the right things, but something always felt off. I would get this tight, anxious feeling in my chest before seeing them, like my body was trying to wave a red flag. Still, I ignored it, told myself I was just being dramatic or whatever excuse made it easier to stay. Eventually, I realized red flags don't turn green. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. The day I finally listened, like really listened to my body, I felt this weird sense of peace. Even though breaking it off was hard, it was like my whole body exhaled. Your gut isn't just some vague feeling, it's your inner radar. And yeah, trusting it might lead you somewhere uncomfortable at first, but it will never lead you wrong. Oh, and also stop shrinking yourself to make other people comfortable. I used to tone myself down all the time. Like I wouldn't speak up too much, or wouldn't show how excited I was about something, wouldn't share my big ideas because I didn't want to come off as too much, too intense, too emotional, too ambitious. Basically, I was constantly editing myself to fit into whatever space I was in. And yeah, it kept the peace, but it also made me feel invisible. Eventually, I got tired of it, of pretending to be smaller than I am just so no one else felt uncomfortable. So I stopped. I started being louder, more honest, more me. And yeah, some people pulled away, but the right people didn't. The right ones leaned in. They weren't put off by my energy. They respected it. They were inspired by it. You don't have to shrink to fit. If someone's only comfortable with you when you're playing small, they're not your people. Let me say that again. They are not your people. Let yourself take up space. You are allowed. Also, not everyone deserves access to you. And honestly, I didn't always get that. I used to think being a good person meant being available all the time, saying yes when I wanted to say no, showing up when I was running on empty, trying to keep the peace even when it cost me mine. But that just left me drained, bitter, and honestly, a little lost. Like, who was I even doing all this for? The truth is, you can still be kind and still have boundaries. You can care about people and also care about yourself. Those two things aren't opposites. They have to coexist. I had to unlearn the idea that saying no make me mean or selfish. It doesn't. It makes me real. It makes me human. Now, I don't hand out access to my energy like free samples anymore. I protect my space, my time, my heart, and that's not cold, it's necessary. If you're someone who gives and gives and ends up feeling empty, let this be your reminder. It's okay to choose you. Not everyone deserves the full version of you, especially if they have not earned it. Okay, the next one I think is a good one. No is a full sentence. Again, no is a full sentence, period. No follow-up, no backstory, no need to soften the edges with 100 apologies. For the longest time, I thought I had to explain myself every time I said no, like I owed people a full TED talk on why I wasn't available, interested, or able. But I've learned this. You don't need to justify taking care of yourself. You don't need to make excuses for honoring your limits. Whether you're turning down a dinner invite, a job offer, or a second date that just didn't feel right, you're allowed to say no. Just because. Just because you don't want to. And that is enough. And the people who respect you won't need a reason. Okay guys, this one is a little deep, but healing isn't a straight line, especially when it comes to trauma. Some days you feel strong, grounded, even proud of how far you've come. You catch yourself responding differently, choosing peace over patterns, feeling more you than you ever did before, and then out of nowhere, something small, a voice tone, a smell, a situation triggers something deep, and suddenly you're back in that old place, the place you thought you had left behind. That doesn't mean you're broken. It doesn't mean you're going backward. It just means your nervous system is still learning what safety feels like. It means your brain and your body are trying to protect you the only way they ever knew how. And yeah, it's frustrating, it's exhausting, but it's also part of the process, because healing trauma, especially the kind you didn't choose, especially the kind that happened when you were too young to name it, isn't about getting over it. It's about slowly learning to sit with it, to untangle the shame, to feel what you weren't allowed to feel back then. And that's messy work. Some days healing looks like setting boundaries and choosing better. Other days, it's just getting out of bed or forgiving yourself for snapping when you didn't mean to. It's not a straight line, and it's definitely not always pretty. But every small act of self-compassion, every time you choose to stay with yourself instead of abandoning your needs, that's progress. So if you're in the middle of it, feeling tired, uncertain, triggered, or numb, this is your reminder you're not failing. You're healing, and that's the bravest thing you can do. Okay, next one, your job doesn't define you. I used to believe mine did. I had what people called a dream job, the kind you work hard for, the kind that impresses people at parties. It looked perfect on the outside, but inside I felt stuck. Just because you're good at something doesn't mean you have to keep doing it. I realized I didn't want to spend my life building someone else's dream. Why am I sat on a back burner? Now creating content is what I do, but it's also something that lets me be more me, more creative, more present, more in tune with what actually matters to me. So you're allowed to change careers. You're allowed to outgrow things, even the ones that once felt perfect. Walking away from something that no longer fits is growth. Okay, next one. You don't have to stay loyal to old versions of yourself. Sometimes we cling to who we used to be out of habit, fear, or guilt, but you're allowed to outgrow dreams, friendships, environments, and even identities. Sometimes we outgrow people we still love. It's okay to let go with grace and remember the good. Not every friendship is meant to last forever. Some are meant to carry you through certain seasons, and that doesn't make them any less real or meaningful. Okay, guys, life's detours, they're actually part of the plan. Sometimes they're exactly what you need to figure out what's next for you. It's like life has a way of nudging you towards something better, even if it doesn't feel like it at first. So when things go sideways, just trust it. You're still heading in the right direction, even if it doesn't look like it right now. Okay, this one is my favorite lesson that I've learned in my 20s. Don't wait for confidence, just do it scared. So if your heart's racing and your hands are shaking, that doesn't mean you're not ready. It means you're human, and it means you're about to grow. Lesson 10, therapy is powerful. I wish I'd gone sooner. It taught me how to understand myself, how to unlearn survival mode, and how to actually feel my feelings without judging them. Your mind deserves just as much care as your body. Also, comparison will rob you of joy. So let go of the measuring stick and remember your worth has never been tied to anyone else's narrative. Okay, this one is for my single ladies and guys. Being alone doesn't mean being lonely. In my early 20s, I hated being alone. I would fill every quiet moment with noise, texts, plans, scrolling, anything to avoid sitting with myself. But eventually, life slowed me down. That's when I started leaning into solitude, not out of isolation, but out of intention. Because in those quiet, unfiltered moments, I actually started to learn more about myself, what I liked, what I needed, and what I had been running from. So when you're cool with being alone, you stop needing constant noise to feel full. Okay, lesson 13. Your 20s are for learning who you are, not proving who you are. Your 20s aren't about proving yourself to anyone. They're about exploring, trying things, messing up, pivoting, learning, unlearning, and becoming. You don't need to have it all together. You just need to be real with yourself. The rest will unfold. Okay, this next one is a little deep, but forgive yourself for what you didn't know before. I know, I am very guilty of this and I'm working on it. But we're all just figuring it out as we go. The choices you made then, they were based on what you knew at the time. So be kind to that version of yourself. She was doing the best she could with what she had. You're not the same person now, and that's a good thing. Don't hold on to the guilt for what you didn't know. Just keep growing from where you are. And lastly, stop stressing about being behind. I know, I need to tell myself this too, but you are exactly where you need to be. I know, it can feel like everyone around you has it all together, right? People getting married, landing dream jobs, buying houses, and here you are still figuring it out. It's easy to think you're behind in some way. We get so caught up in comparing our timelines to others, but your journey is unique to you. Just because someone else is hitting milestones before you doesn't mean you're failing or missing out. Life isn't a race, and you're doing just fine. Trust your pace, trust that everything is unfolding the way it's supposed to. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. I hope you got something out of today's video and it made you feel a little less lonely while figuring things out, or maybe feel a little better about where you are in your own journey. And thank you so much for being here, for hanging out with me. on this special day, and I hope this year we will get to hang out a lot more on YouTube. You can also find more of my content on Instagram and TikTok. I am excited for the first chapter of my 30s. It still feels so unreal to say that out loud. Anyways, thank you so much for being here. I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing now as a full-time job without you guys. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for celebrating with me, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!